Tuesdays later than usual for our monthly wrap-ups. However, we did want to still go over all of the books we read in September.
I'll be honest and say this was my worst reading month yet. Not only with the quantity of books I read, but the quality. Pretty much every book I read this month was just average. None of them really stood out to me. On a positive note, we did just hit 4K subscribers,
which is insane. Thank you guys so much. We don't believe that real people actually watch us.
I know, it's always crazy to just think about and to see. So we're very grateful. It's so cool that we could just sit here and talk about the books that we've read and connect with you guys.
As a thank you, we do want to host a giveaway over on our Instagram, so definitely go ahead and follow us over there if you want to participate. We will be giving away 2 books off of your Amazon wish list. Make sure to head over there and enter if you're interested in that.
Okay.
To start, I did read The Final Girl Support Group by Grady Hendrix. This one I was very interested going into it because I had only ever read one other book by Grady Hendrix and I wanted to see how this one compared to it. I will say the start of this book was so good. The first half of the book, really, I was very into the writing, the unreliable narrator. However, as the book goes on, it lost the tone of the story I really liked and it started going a bunch of different ways. I was disappointed that the end kind of fell flat for me. However, I do still think it was a good mystery thriller. This was an easier read than the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. However, I do think I liked that one more. Let me know if you have read this one though and your thoughts, because I feel like I only ever really see positive ones and I gave it a 3.25.
I did read Hook, Line, and Sinker by Tessa Bailey. I really loved It Happened One Summer last month, so I knew I wanted to jump into this story. I really enjoyed connecting with Hannah and learning about her love for music. Her dream job is to make soundtracks for movies, and that's just something we always overlook. None of us really pay attention to the person who does that. It was definitely interesting to see that part of the plot. I did like Hannah and Fox's connection, but towards the middle of the book, things just started getting really repetitive, and we kept circling around these issues on why they shouldn't be together, and it's like they just kept going back and forth through the entire second half of the book. I did enjoy Piper and Brendan's story more than Hannah and Fox's, but I'm still really happy that I read this one. I did give this book a 3.5 stars. I think I gave It Happened One Summer 4 stars. The epilogue was so cute and exactly what I needed to wrap up their stories.
So next I have 2 of the books I read while we were at the beach last month, and there is Every Summer After by Carly Fortune and Never Never by Colleen Hoover and Taryn Fisher. Never Never was definitely a cute YA mystery romance. I did think this one was a refreshing, quick read that had just enough intrigue to keep you reading. The story definitely kind of fizzled out. It didn't go where I needed it to go, and we didn't get that conclusion that I thought we were going to get. However, it still was a cute read. I gave this a 3.25, so. Every Summer After, you guys know, was super popular this summer, and for good reason. I do see why people say it was basically The Summer I Turned Pretty, but as an adult book. It's a childhood friends to lovers second chance romance that had the perfect summer setting, just the right amount of spice and heartache. I do recommend this one. I haven't read Love in Other Words, but I heard it's very similar to that one. I did really enjoy this one though. I gave it a 4 star.
I did start the Inheritance Games trilogy. Is it a trilogy? Because now this girly brought out another book that's about to come out. I think this was the perfect introduction for the entire series. I've said it a few times, but this is definitely the perfect fall read. I will say I did guess the big twist early on, but even though I did guess it, it was still satisfying to read because I know it's going to make for a really good plot in the next books. I definitely want to read the second book in October. I just have so many books I want to read, so I don't know when I'm going to get to that one. I gave this one a 3.75.
Okay.
It wasn't exactly a 4, but it was almost.
So next up I have The Merciless by Danielle Vega. I believe this is the first book in a 4-book series. I was very interested. This was one of the ones I got from BookOutlet and I had been seeing for a while now. It's a YA horror, and that in itself, I was very interested in seeing how far will they go with the horror scenes if it is YA. And honestly, I wasn't expecting all of the scenes that they did have that were a little more graphic than I thought they'd be. A lot of people on Goodreads were comparing this to Mean Girls and The Exorcist, and that was 100% exactly what it was. Basically the plot of Mean Girls, except the Mean Girls are trying to exorcise Janice.
What?
Yeah!
Oh my god. Should I read it?
It was good. I mean, it's a little small town, so they're very religious, and of course one of the girls that they used to be friends with kind of changed. She's a lot more emo now, same. And so they're like, oh, she must be possessed. We must fix her.
Why do I really like that?
Yeah, super interesting. And I mean, a YA quick read. This was under 300 pages, I believe. I don't know if I'd pick up the second book anytime soon. However, it did end pretty good.
We both read Pen Pal and Magnolia Parks this month. We do have an entire reading vlog of our review of Magnolia Parks. We read it, we sat down, we talked about everything that we liked and didn't like about it. So if you're interested in learning more about what we thought about the book, definitely go watch that. I gave it a 3.5. I think I would read the next books, but I desperately need an audiobook just because when books are this long and they're filled with dialogue, I just feel like it's easier to listen to. Until then, I'm not so sure. We did also read Pen Pal last month. Nikki did gift this to us and we are very grateful that we got to read this together. When we brought this up a few videos ago, a lot of you guys were saying y'all are very interested in reading this one, which was news to us because we had never even heard about this one. But I will say I really did like the paranormal aspect of this. I thought that was very interesting. I was very entertained during all those parts. I did feel like the romance was a little forced in the beginning and that kind of threw me off a little bit, but I still liked the story and I definitely see myself reading more like paranormal romances.
Like every month, I'm still reading the series that I have to get through by the end of the year. So two of the ones I read this month were Fake by Tate James in the Madison Kate series, a dark contemporary romance, reverse harem. I absolutely love this series and this world. I can't wait to finish it so I can tell you guys all about it and summarize it in a way that doesn't give any spoilers. It's hard to review series when you're in the middle of them, but I am absolutely loving it. I love this world. I love these characters. It reminds me a lot of the Ravenhood trilogy, but better. And then of course I read the next book I had in the Throne of Glass series, Heir of Fire. I will say I really enjoyed Crown of Midnight in August, which was book 2. This one was super good as well. It just didn't hit the same way as that second book. However, we had an introduction to a character in here that I absolutely am in love with. Like, on the same level as Daddy Reese.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Don't say that.
And we didn't even see a lot of him in this, but I can just tell already. So I need more of him. The series has been very good. I can't wait to finish it. I understand the hype. I understand the hype.
We did both read the last book in the Addicted series, which is Addicted After All by Krista and Becca Ritchie. This was the perfect conclusion to Lily and Lo's love story. It was really sad to read about. They had so much character growth too, so that was really fun to read about.
I remember when we first started this series, a lot of you guys were saying Lily and Lo were your favorite couple. And at the time, I kept thinking like, no. But after reading this final book, I do feel like Lily and Lo are my favorite. Just because of the connection they have, their relationship with each other, it's unmatched. So I'm now team Lily and Lo as my favorite.
I don't feel that way.
Okay.
I can't choose.
Yeah.
I don't have, it's like asking a parent who's your favorite kid. I love them all. I don't know.
I think I'd have a favorite kid.
I think they do have a favorite kid. They just don't say. So now we're excited to finish the Calloway Sisters series and then be done with this and maybe start to like us. We'll see. Overall, not the best reading month for me, but that's okay. I think I was kind of in a little mini slump, but I'm so excited to start on like all mystery thriller books for October. I'm currently reading Local Woman Missing and I really like it. I'm hoping the rest of the mystery thriller books I read are gonna be like that. This is basically the home stretch the last 3 months of the year. We have a lot of good fall and winter books we want to read. Leave us a comment down below letting us know what your favorite book was in September. Thank you guys again for 4K subscribers. Don't forget we are hosting a giveaway over on our Instagram, so if you are interested in that, please check it out. All of our social media information is in the description as always. Please make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see you next time. The Final Girl Support Group by Grady Hendrix. I told you guys I wanted to read it because, why did I want to read it? The closest thing I can think of that this reminds me of is a Hallmark movie. Do with that what you will. I mean, I like Hallmark movies. Like in the beginning of the Hallmark movie though, you know how it's gonna end. Yeah. So, 4K. That's crazy.